In today's video, we have a lot to address. Bitcoin is just ranging around at the same level since the beginning of the week. And we also have more meme coins coming out, sucking liquidity out of the market. But in the short term, I've been making some very solid profits by shorting the market, in particular with new token listings. If you want to hear more about that, make sure you watch the entire video. And as always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Let's jump right into the video. First things first, Bitcoin. As we can see, we've just been chopping around this range for basically the entire week with no solid move to the upside, no solid move to the downside. Now we can see here on this chart that we are now below the point of control and it's acting a little bit as resistance for Bitcoin, which is not a positive sign if you've been longing Bitcoin. If this continues to act as resistance, in my opinion, we will likely go lower and retest these lows one more time around the 92K level. Now what I've put here on the chart is the most bullish case scenario in my opinion, if we are to go lower first. That would be to bounce off this level, then going above $100,000 and holding each level as support before we potentially put in a new all-time high. However, we have been talking about this scenario on the channel for quite a while now, and you just need to be aware of it, and that would be to revisit all the way down to these lows. Now you'll notice there's a little bit of support right here on the chart, where Bitcoin kind of chopped around before moving higher. And so it is possible that if we do break this range before we have what would be a devastated correction in no man's land under $87,000, we do have a little bit of support here. Now, it's not entirely clear yet if we will be breaking the 92K region, but if we do, keep your eye on 87.5K as support. Until then, we're still fine chopping around this range, but as we know, the altcoin market is still continuing to struggle, even though we're starting to see that Ethereum is picking up against its Bitcoin pair. Now, this is the best indicator for altcoins in my honest opinion. And if Ethereum can go ahead and reclaim the 0.03 range against its Bitcoin pair, it will be very positive for altcoins. So far, we've been holding the 0.027 level as support, and we'll have to see if we're able to make our way higher and hopefully break through this level, or if we're going to come back down for another retest, potentially revisiting an even deeper low. Although that's not my base case, as we've been discussing, Ethereum against Bitcoin is at relatively attractive levels, and I've already started dollar cost averaging into Ethereum with my Bitcoin stack, as I think it will outperform Bitcoin this year. And taking a look at all of the cryptocurrencies outside of the top 10, we can see that we're holding this box as support. Now the question is, can we move on higher and break the $323 billion level? Because this is a massive milestone to break, and we can see it's acted as support and resistance on many occasions. And so when we move higher, this will be the most important level to watch, in my opinion, before we can make it to the top of this range and then go ahead and set a new all-time high. And seeing a little bit of strength with Ethereum at the current moment, Bitcoin dominance dropped a little bit, although we are still in this wedge. And so I wouldn't be calling for altcoin season quite yet. A lot of the content creators out there are calling for this to happen and for altcoins to finally start outperforming Bitcoin, but I'm not quite convinced yet. The money printer doesn't necessarily have to turn on for altcoins to really outperform Bitcoin, but we would hope to have at least the end of quantitative tightening. And one of the reasons why Bitcoin dominance has continued to increase outside of monetary policy and will likely continue to increase even more, in my opinion, is because of this. We have Donald Trump launching his meme coin. Then we have Melania's token. Then we have Dave Portnoy. Then we have Central African Republic launching their own meme coin. And yesterday we had the shenanigans with CZ's dog. Now, he didn't necessarily talk about a meme coin in particular, but he was definitely opening up the conversation for some meme coins to launch on the BNB chain. And naturally, once the name of his dog came out, people launched a meme coin. Now, to be fair, it hasn't performed that poorly, but one would argue that he should not be involving himself in this crap. He's acting like he doesn't know what meme coins are, and he's acting like he doesn't really have any kind of influence on the market. Now, he posted this heartfelt story about his dog, Broccoli, and yes, it was a solid story, but people started making memes immediately, and naturally we saw this. Now, the cool thing with these tokens is that they almost always inevitably go to zero, and the best place to short these kinds of tokens is on weeks. This is exactly where I make all of my trades and where I've been making most of my profits. And the reason why I use weeks is because they're often one of the first exchanges to list these tokens, so you can trade them immediately with leverage. And what's even crazier is that if you sign up to weeks with the first link in my description, you can literally get $100 for free by just linking your phone number to your account. Then, if you go ahead and deposit an additional $200 to your futures trading account, you also get an additional $100 bonus just to trade with. So that's $200 for basically doing nothing. If that interests you, it's the first link in my description down below. But regarding CZ, I do have to agree with this comment that was on one of his most recent posts. CZ, the least this industry needs is more rug coins. Memes are time bombs. 99% of them end up scamming people. Memes are not community driven, they're greed driven. Want to bring more action to the chain? Give incentives to devs and teams for building projects with utility. Make building on BNB attractive and people will join the chain. What made people leave the chain back when it was Binance Smart Chain was exactly all the rugs and scams. At one point, it was unbearable. We already have that on other chains. We definitely don't need more of it. There's so much that can be done and built. We don't need more memes. We need more legit projects with utility where people can earn money in different ways instead of losing it because people are in it for the money and not the tech. We need reliability, not more gambling. And I couldn't agree more with this. But this is also an opportunity to make some money, in my honest opinion. I've been shorting a lot of these newer tokens on weeks, and it's honestly been phenomenal in terms of profit. So you got to take advantage of what's given. Speaking of these new tokens, in one of my previous videos, I did talk about a specific token that I would be shorting. Let's roll the clip. Profits when it comes to trading new cryptocurrencies. Let's dive into it. So I shared on the channel that I was shorting Beara after its launch because it got listed on Binance Perps right after its day one listing. And we can see here that I made significant profits, just under $4,000 by shorting this new token. Now I think something else is about to play out and it should be available to trade on weeks. This new token called IP, Story Protocol, is about to come out in 2 days and it already has major listings. As we can see here, MEXC, BitGet, and Bybit have already listed it, KuCoin as well, etc. You get the point. Once this is listed on Binance Perps, in 2 days' time, I will actively be shorting this token. The reason being, we've seen this cycle play out over and over and over again. As soon as a new token is listed on Binance Perps, there are insiders that go ahead and short that token. Now, this is exactly how I made the $10,000 profit that I showed you at the beginning of this video. And you get the point. But if we take a look at the IP chart, this is what it looks like. What an insane opportunity to make some gains. Now, I personally shorted this one and made several thousands of dollars doing so. And as I mentioned, it was available on weeks. So not only do you get an insane bonus for signing up with the first link in my description, literally up to $200 for free, but you also get trading access to some of these projects much earlier than other people. And so you can trade it actively as it comes out. So if you haven't signed up to weeks with me, I don't know what you're doing. Get that bonus and you'll also be able to start trading these coins early as I've been doing. Keep in mind, there's a lot of new tokens that will be coming out at crazy high valuations and I will likely continue to short them. I will be sharing them with you on the channel, so make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. And let's wrap up the video looking at these spot ETFs. Bitcoin saw crazy outflows yesterday, $156 million worth of Bitcoin. Again, BlackRock continues to accumulate. Don't sell your Bitcoin to BlackRock. Please, I'm begging you. This is not financial advice, but in my opinion, they are trying to take as much control of the supply as possible. And I had the same kind of discussion with DaVinci J15 in my video yesterday. We talked about how all of the big players are basically trying to accumulate as much Bitcoin as possible so you're not able to. It doesn't matter if you can't afford a full Bitcoin. In my opinion, you should always be holding some at the very least. And in terms of the Ethereum spot ETFs, we can see that they are still continuing to accumulate, which is very interesting to see because as we saw, World Liberty Financial, Trump's company, have been aggressively accumulating Ethereum, and so have other whales. And so I wouldn't be surprised if this is indeed impacting the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. As we can see, it's looking like we're trying to hold this level as support, but only time will tell, and I'll make sure to keep you updated. And that sums up today's video. If you enjoyed the content, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. I'll see you in tomorrow's video.